What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha, and we're returning for a live performance of Little Black Heart, which is from Minor Earth Major Sky, but I believe this is from the edited version of the Live at Valhall concert, which is given the name Homecoming. Now, I understand there's a DVD of this which has like the full show, but as I remember when I went through a handful of tracks from this live CD, that some people said, the way they edit the tracks is really weird, and they sort of, cut them into different order and chop off parts between the tracks. So I know that this rendering of that show in Oslo, which I believe was 2001, is not everybody's favorite, but I'm also aware that there are some of these live recordings from the show included in the deluxe edition of, is it Memorial Beach, I think? No, it's Minor Earth Major Sky. What am I saying? So yes, this track is from Minor Earth Major Sky, and the deluxe edition of the album has a few of the tunes in audio form from that concert in a way that's not edited and sort of chopped up. Nevertheless, this is not one of the tracks that's included as a bonus in the deluxe edition of Minor Earth Major Sky, so we're going to listen to it here in the Homecoming CD, and at some point I'll react to the handful of tracks. I think I did one already, but I think there's 3 more that come from the deluxe edition of Minor Earth Major Sky that I haven't reacted to. So we'll get to that eventually, but once again, shout out to all the folks who've been following this Aha journey, which is now stretching into its 3rd year. I think we're still technically at like 2.5 years, but it has been quite a while, and I know there's a number of folks that are still journeying on with me, so I am curious to hear how this may vary. Again, sometimes with live performances you get flourishes, maybe especially with vocals, and people sort of hit a line differently than they do in the show, or than they do in the recorded like studio version, which is always sort of a complicated matter, right? Like a lot of people going to concerts are expecting to and wanting to hear the tune that they know very well, but there's also something to be said for getting something different or a little bit extra in a live performance, something that goes beyond or departs from the standard version of the tune. So there's some special one-off magic to that. So again, I think it's a fine line that a lot of bands will ride when it comes to playing it the way people know it, but also doing something special with it to make it more memorable from that particular experience. So I don't quite know what to expect in that regard, but let's hear it. Little Black Heart, a track from their Minor Earth Major Sky album, heard here as part of the Live at Valhall, Live in Oslo concert 2001.
I never saw sunlight burn as bright. Never felt darkness like I feel it tonight. You say it's getting better, you say it's alright, but I've never felt darkness like I feel it tonight. Little black heart, raindrops on my window, I can't tell apart. Like a few things forgiven in my little black heart. You say it's getting better, you say it's alright, but I never felt darkness the way I feel it tonight. Little black heart, someday can't tell us apart. A few things forgotten, and my little black heart. You say it's getting better, we just never got it right. I've never felt darkness the way I feel it tonight. Little black heart. Little black heart.
I agree, rapturous applause. So I don't remember the runtime of the album track. It felt a little bit shorter, so it says 3:27. Again, I don't remember the exact runtime, but I want to say that was maybe a bit condensed. But yes, it's a beautiful tune. It's a sad tune, both I think lyrically and melodically. That main keyboard or piano riff, I think, really captures the heart-rending essence of the themes at play. Ultimately, I think Morton carries that type of feeling in his vocal performance on this one as well, and I think it sounded good live. There were a couple moments where you could hear, I think, just a little bit like the crowd enjoying or anticipating a certain moment in the tune. And yeah, once again, live Aha, I really tend to notice the live drums. Not to say that there's not other tunes from earlier in their career where maybe it stands out more, because, you know, in the original album version of tracks from Hunting High and Low or Scoundrel days, it's that real drum machine type of sound. And so then when you hear a track like that with live drums, it just gives it a bit more of percussive pop. It stands out a bit more, whereas tracks from the 90s and maybe early 2000s, it doesn't feel as distinct because they were moving more toward like a natural instrument sound anyway. But I did notice the drumming on this one, really good sound to the, you know, the tuning or the timbre of the drums. A couple moments where I noticed the very bluesy guitar, which I suppose is a hallmark of Paul's work across the course of the Aha catalog, but perhaps I notice it in particular from songs from, let's say, the early 90s to the early 2000s, and, you know, having heard a lot of Savoy material by this point as well, there's a lot of that in that particular musical avenue. But yes, a couple moments where his bluesy guitar stood out, a couple moments where the strings were really hitting as well, so another richly arranged tune and performance in this live setting, and I fully agree with the audience who seemed to give it a big ovation at the end. But admittedly, it's not the kind of tune where I feel like you'd be inclined to be, you know, like clapping, and it's a more like mental, like pensive, emotionally heavier tune. So even if you enjoy it a lot, it's not quite the, you know, jumping around dancing type of track where maybe at the end it gets an even bigger clamor and ovation. So yeah, it's just a very sweet if heartrending tune, and I think this performance, you know, accentuated all those qualities. So another cool live performance from Aha. Let me know what you think, and I shall see you next time. Peace.